Unlocking the Music Box, also known in its original title, Il Carillon. This is actually an Italian movie directed by John Rill, who also co-wrote this. This one stars Rachel Daigh as Annabelle. Now, Annabelle is a single woman who has to look after her young niece. As this girl, this young niece, Sophie, her parents have died, and she is now forced to live with her auntie as now her legal guardian. So they move to this new house, which seems to be, you know, somewhat kind of rustic, shall we say. It has all these kind of gargoyles and stuff all over. They look a little bit out of place, I must say, because it's a relatively modern house, but hey-ho. Anyway, this young girl, Sophie, finds buried in the garden this old, antique music box. And let me tell you, this music box plays more than just a haunting melody. So she obviously decides that she's going to keep this box, but it actually houses the spirit of a malicious young girl who has died under mysterious circumstances herself. What will happen? You have to watch the movie to find out. So let's discuss the music box. Italian movie, but it is spoken in English, although that will be the point of some amusement for some. I'll come on to that in a little bit. But the story, I have to say, is, you know, a serviceable, easy to follow haunted house ghost story. It's certainly a watchable movie in regards to plot. I don't think it's going to kind of break any barriers in regards to strange twists and things like that. But it is a serviceable and watchable ghost story in regards to kind of certain plot elements. I actually think the depiction of the ghost itself for a low budget movie looks pretty damn scary at times, and I have to say I do like the use of effects and how they've managed to stretch the budget to kind of make this movie, you know, seem creepy and menacing at times, despite the fact they obviously don't have a lot of money to play with here. I think I actually quite enjoyed our lead actress. I think she does a pretty good job. Now, this is an Italian movie, obviously, so a lot of the people here are speaking not obviously their native dialogue, and I've got the feeling some people are overdubbed. But our main actress, I think, does a pretty good job here. And one thing I do like some of the plot elements here. For example, we have this psychologist, this child psychologist. And he picks up straight away that there is actually more going on because he actually manages to capture this ghost on video. So he, like, you know, you don't get that section like you get in a lot of films where there's denial, and even though there's clear evidence of supernatural goings on, they still deny it. Straight away, he'll kind of like, oh God, I've captured something supernatural here. Let's kind of deal with that. I actually quite like that subversion of the kind of the normal tropes that you'll get here. You know, and it kind of goes into the kind of the very much the tried and tested horror formula that we've seen before. You know, seeking help from the trusted, good-hearted psychic, things like that. But what doesn't work? Okay, as I've mentioned, this is an Italian movie, but spoken in English, and unfortunately, some of the acting here is laughably bad. In particular, our child psychologist, who used to be a male model, apparently, and I've got the feeling that's why he was cast. Antonio Lujak, good-looking fella, one for the ladies, certainly, but man, his line delivery is hilarious. Maybe that's a positive. It almost feels like if you've watched an Italian, post-apocalyptic movie from the 80s that's been dubbed, it almost sounds like that. The line delivery and just the kind of the blank expressions on his face, it's hilarious to look at. But unfortunately, the acting is so bad from this gentleman, it kind of brings down a lot of the other kind of the acting as well. Also, I think they've overdubbed some actors here, smaller parts. So we have weird, like, Cockney accents and things like that coming up, even though obviously it's going to take place in Italy, but they're all speaking English. Doesn't make sense. As I've mentioned, I think this movie is formulaic, so there's no real surprises here, and the movie kind of goes where you're going to expect it to go. You know, it relies a little bit on kind of jump scares, and there's just no real originality to this, unfortunately. It's certainly not a bad film, I don't think. I've seen some reviews saying, you know, how bad it is, but I think that's primarily driven by the god-awful acting from some of the cast here. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's that bad a story, and the effects aren't that bad. It's just very generic, if that makes sense. The thing that maybe puzzled me maybe the most, to be honest with you, is the weird abrupt ending where it's very anticlimactic, I have to say, and it just kind of ends and oh, is that it? I mean, maybe you could argue that, you know, it's not going for the Hollywood cliche of, oh my god, this, you know, there's going to be this like the FU moment, and it's kind of got this final threat's going to come in and reveal itself and be this final obstacle that you have to have. Instead, no, it pretty much ends on a fairly damp squid, I have to say. Overall, I think this is certainly a watchable average ghost story, hampered by some particularly bad acting and maybe a little bit of poor writing here. But it is a watchable film with some creepy moments. I think the ghostly effects work for the most part and do look kind of quite creepy. And the kind of the backstory is, you know, we get enough of it to kind of get a feel about maybe what's happened, but still leaves you with some kind of lingering questions, and you know, you kind of feel sorry for this malevolent spirit as well, which I thought was probably a good job. But overall, it's a pretty average movie. 5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.